Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Batman and the Monster Man, part of the Dark Moon Rising series, done by Matt Wagner, and he is the same man that did the art and story on Trinity, so the art is going to look exactly the same as the Trinity story, which was beautiful art. Now before we get into the actual story, let's talk about the Dark Moon Rising series. This is a comic book series that takes place in the modern continuity in Batman's first year. So this takes place directly after Batman Year 1. In addition to that, these stories are actually Golden Age stories revamped, given a modern continuity facelift. If you really want to read the original Golden Age stories, I suggest you do and pick up Batman Chronicles 1 through 2. You're going to find all the stories in there. Now, with that said, let's get into the actual story. And first I want to talk about Bruce Wayne in this. This does take place in Batman's first year, so we have a very young, naive Bruce Wayne / Batman, who believes that he can get his mission done of cleaning up Gotham really early as a young man, and believes he can actually have a normal life. The best way to compare this Bruce Wayne is comparing him to the young Bruce Wayne in The Masked Phantasm. Amazing movie, but they both seem to be in the same mindset. That quickly changes near the end of the series. In addition to that, Bruce Wayne has a girlfriend in this, and that would be Julie Madison, who is also a Golden Age character revamped. In the Golden Age, she was actually Bruce Wayne's fiancée, who was an aspiring actress. Eventually, she kind of faded away and no one cared about her. But in the modern continuity, she is actually Bruce Wayne's girlfriend, and she is a college law student. Her father, Mr. Madison, is a wealthy businessman that gets tied up in the wrong crowd and makes bad business deals with Sal Maroni. And if we all know, Sal Maroni is part of the Falcone family and the Falcone gang. So that puts him in some, awkward complications where he's going to have to owe money to Sal. Now the basic story of this is, the introduction of Dr. Hugo Strange. Dr. Hugo Strange is portrayed as a very athletic, smart, fit man, but he's very short, and because he's short, he uses genetics to try to find a cure to make himself tall and normal size. And by doing this, he takes actually live human subjects and does his genetic experiments on them. The end result is these grossly huge, monstrous men, thus the title Monster Men. And these are like giant behemoths. And Batman can't come to grips that someone could do this and something like this can actually exist. So Batman follows the trail and he eventually comes up to Hugo Strange. And there was some good confrontations in there. The first confrontation was actually at Hugo Strange's laboratory, where Batman takes on the Monster Men. And Strange is so impressed by how Batman is defending himself that he actually took a sample of Batman's blood and created this super uber Monster Man. Now, Hugo Strange also owes money to Sal Maroni, and Hugo sends the Monster Men after Sal's own men in a gambling match to steal their money so they can repay Sal. So Sal is getting repaid with his own money. Now, eventually, Hugo just says, might as well kill Sal. So Hugo goes after Sal with his Monster Men. And at the same time, Sal is meeting up with Julie's father, who is going to repay his debt, which I doubt he will. But anyways, that's where the big confrontation comes in. Batman takes on the Monster Men attack Sal, Hugo Strange gets away. And I'm going to leave you with that. I think you really should read the comic book to get the final ending. Now it's on to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Well, let's start off with the good. This is a Golden Age revamped retelling story, and I like that because I liked a lot of the Golden Age stories, and they gave it kind of a realistic, logical, modern sense to it. Well, as logical as big giant monster men can be. So I like that. In addition to that, I like the fact it takes place in Batman's early career, because if you really think about it, between Batman Long Halloween and Batman Death in the Family, there's a lot of gaps there that doesn't take much of Batman's early career. I like the fact that they're hitting Batman's early career with this. It was a great choice. In addition to that, the art was awesome, and the story was very, very solid. The characters flowed pretty well, the relationship between all of them. Now to the bad things. I felt as though, although the story was good and it flowed well, it did suffer in the beginning. I felt as though it was very mixed up in the beginning. Things just didn't work well for the first third of the story. And then eventually it starts to pick up and work very well. In addition to that, I think Julie's relationship with Batman is very cliche. In that, you know, it's really the tragic love story that he can never really be with her because he's Batman, and she's getting really pissed at him because he's never around. I kind of let it slide because that's the definitive relationship that establishes Batman's, you know, wariness to go into relationships. But again, it's a very cliche Batman-girlfriend relationship. It's not going to work. So, I mean, and we know it doesn't work because obviously he's not with her now. But those are the only two bad points to that. Other than that, this is a great story. I really like that. I like the fact that it was a Golden Age story retold, and I like the fact that it's done in the first year of Batman's career. So whether or not you should get this. Well, if you're a new Batman fan, or if you're just starting to read the comics, I suggest holding off on this and picking up some of the other major titles first, like Year One, Long Halloween, Nightfall, Death in the Family, stuff like that. But if you have been reading Batman for a while, and if you're a huge Batman fan, or if you want to read things in direct order, then I suggest picking this up. Again, it hits the early years of Batman, the early career, so it fills in a lot of gaps. With that said, I was very happy with this story. It's not a hugely, immensely great story, but it's something that you can sit down, read, and enjoy. If I had to give it a letter grade, I would give it a B-. Sorry, camera died out on me. It happens. But if I had to give this a solid letter grade, I would give it a solid B, probably. So pick it up if you want to read Batman's earlier life. But if you're a new Batman fan, I suggest holding off and getting some of the major titles first. With that said, I'm going to end the review here. I am going to be reviewing more of the Dark Moon Rising series, which is Batman the Mad Monk and Batman the Man Who Laughs. First I have to buy The Man Who Laughs. It's really hard to find where I live, so... but expect a lot more Batman reviews coming up. I know I've been holding off on them and doing other superheroes, but they are coming. Don't worry. With that said, I'm going to end the review here. This is Andrew, and I'm going to say peace out for now.